saying that loud. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, that's about all we have for the intro. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special Friday episode. Not only is it a special Friday episode, it is your boy's birthday. Okay, listen, I might have tight skin and I might have balls that don't hang too low. Listen, I've been blessed in the scrotum department. Okay, simply by the fact that it's not just, I don't know I don't know what this tangent was. I didn't mean to go here. Okay, but it's your boy's birthday, a Friday birthday, the ripe old age of 35. Get me a fucking cane because the game is over. I'm gonna start eating applesauce today. Okay, I get down on some applesauce, not prune juice though. I don't fucks with prune juice. Never really been about it. Ate one time a bag of prunes when I was a kid. Didn't have a good time. Listen, when you're a little kid and you eat a whole bag of prunes, gonna have a bad time. Okay, because the truth is, I grew up a very feral lifestyle. We've touched upon it a little bit about my childhood, where I kind of grew up in a backyard. I was a free range child, if you will. And I would just get into food. I'd find a bag of prunes and I'd be like, let's take down this whole thing. I would just do these science experiments as a kid. I'd get a whole bag of prunes and just go in the backyard and I'm gonna eat the whole thing. One time I did it with a whole can of Vienna sausages. Delicious. I've said Vienna sausages. This is how I know some people grew up a little too privileged, is when they don't know what Vienna sausages are or Spam. I'm like, you've never actually eaten it? They're like, no, I thought that was a joke. Oh, okay. Is my life a joke to you? Spam was a staple in my household. My father still eats it. Okay, I have a can of Spam in my house waiting for him the next time that he visits, because that's just what Puerto Ricans from Brooklyn do. Okay, they grew up on that Spam. Anyway, it's a birthday episode. Okay, now listen. We always ask you guys. I've decided to have a split personality for my birthday, and I'll be real with you. I'm recording this on Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night. Your boy's getting ready to go get some Chipotle, and then I'm taking the next couple days off. If you try to reach out to me, if it's not just a casual talk, you try to talk business, don't talk to me. I'll murder you. All the pain in my heart. Okay, if you don't get that reference, then that's not gonna resonate at all with you. But I don't give a fuck. That one was for me. Birthday episode. But on my birthday, I would appreciate if you guys have it. Like, comment, subscribe on the video. Subscribe to the podcast, on Apple or Spotify. Shit, I'm on Amazon Music, baby. Amazon Unlimited. Bezos in the house. But yeah, subscribe on YouTube, because here is my trajectory going forward. Okay, it's something I think about a lot. This is what I want. That's just my birthday ask. Okay, because I know I'm about to go off on a rabbit hole. We're never going to touch that again. If you guys could subscribe on YouTube, that would mean the world to me, because here is what the position that I'm in. I really think, and this is kind of a big thing of censorship and kind of social media and where things are going, is you kind of have to do your own thing. You have to develop your own audience and find a way to retain that audience where it can't be taken away from you. Because when things get algorithmic, I had a stroke on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. With the algorithm, you just get lost in it. And especially with culture is a weird thing, especially when I wouldn't call it cancel culture anymore, because I feel like that's been played out. But now it feels like sometimes posting on social media with comedy in particular, where the goal is to just make you laugh. I feel like it's a hard thing to do, because now it feels like I'm bowling with the bumper on, like I have to stay on the the bowling alley. I don't know what it's called. Listen, I'm not a very good bowler. I thought it was going to be a great metaphor. And then we kind of realized about halfway through it, I don't think this was the metaphor we wanted. But basically what's happening is I'd be going for a strike, and then I'd be hitting the gutter. And when I hit the gutter, Instagram's basically giving me less pins to hit. Now they're taking points away from me. And I'm like, hey, I didn't mean to get a strike. I'm obviously not, like, I'm not trying to hurt anyone on social media. I'm not trying to offend anyone. But I think the parameter of what is considered what someone should get offended by has a hair trigger now. Like I truly do not want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want people to feel sad. I don't want them to feel alienated or whatever, in a reasonable sense where what I'm doing is actually offensive. But I think what's happening is like we have hit such a heightened place of being offended and sensitive that what shouldn't be considered offensive is now over the line. And I think these social media platforms, they don't give two fucks about freedom of speech. If it isn't what is cool in the narrative of what is cool, of what people consider free speech. Because there's like this ideology of what you should and shouldn't say. And if you try to do anything outside the box and you try to be original and you try to do something new, you just, or if you want to do something that's actually funny and like what you think is funny, whether it's a skit, whether it's just something, real conversations, and it just doesn't play well on social media. Especially Instagram, TikTok. Dude, I had videos taken down on TikTok for just, I pretended to take a drink from a shampoo bottle. And that got like my most viral video taken down. Free Evan, y'all. Okay. But here's the whole reason I say that, going back to it, is I'm going to start posting more on YouTube. YouTube feels like the best social media platform in the sense of canceling. There's more opportunity to build a community, and I think they're doing it right. They have a database. Like when you post on social media, you have to hope that someone just comes back and finds that video. Like they go on your profile and basically do a deep dive scroll. And it happens, but you're not going to get found like that. It's real weird. It's real weird. So that's my birthday ask. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, life is good. Okay. Always got to count your blessings. All right. It has been man, let's get real for a second. It has been crazy. These past few years of my life. And I say this because, and I want to be honest on my birthday, and be more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. But before we do that, can we just acknowledge the badass tracksuit I'm wearing? Okay. Just tigers and toucans head to toe. I look like I sell the cheapest cologne. Like I might sell you a secondhand rug, maybe, perhaps, my friend. I might sell you I might have a deal on, remember those Bluetooth, the cell phone Bluetooth? Remember when those were so popular? Everybody had like the Bluetooths. Dude, I hated every single person because people would change. Once they put a Bluetooth in their ear, different person. I'm like, okay, you think you're fucking Minority Report. You either think you're a day trader making shit happen, or you're Minority Report. You think you're a robot from the future. Either way, I don't like either of those things. Okay, I don't like who you've become because you're not you anymore. All right, Terry? Anyway, so now we acknowledge that. It has been a crazy few years in my life. I think it's been a crazy few years for everyone, right? It's kind of crazy that when you're going through things, and it could be the algorithm, you just kind of feel like things are happening to everyone. That's kind of, you find solace in that, where you're like, oh, everybody's kind of going through these. I hate using words like awakening or, changing their life, because I feel like they've been ruined by hippies in the parks when you say awakening. But it's like, it felt like the pandemic really it made people realize they didn't want to play a stupid game anymore. That what you thought reality was and what you thought the government was and what you thought the path was, like it kind of made the illusion go down. Like you kind of saw through it. At least a lot of people did. That things can be taken away from you really easily, opportunities, and just even your lifestyle and things you enjoy, your happiness can be taken away from you. And that was something that like I saw. Like I had multiple friends overdose during the pandemic. And that's something that people don't really talk about enough, I feel, was the life that was taken away from people. There obviously was, with COVID and everything, I understand that people passed away from the actual disease. But there were so many people that like, it's so important to do what you want to do and to make sure you're checking that stuff off your box. My whole thing that I've been doing, and it's been working, was I started doing the things daily that give me happiness, that give me fulfillment. Like that's all it is in the end of the day. I redid my garage recently with like the epoxy floors and everything. And that gave me 2 days of just pure joy. Like it was something physical. It was something, I was just, I don't know, working on my house. Like it was just, I got to do something that it felt so good that I just kept going out there and staring at it. It'd be nighttime. It was like 11 p.m. and I just go out there and I turn the lights on and I'd be like, man, I did this. It looks great. The epoxy floor with the little flakes and everything, all high and glossy. But it was like stuff like that where it's just like I'm trying to fill up my time and my days with things that, push me forward to where I want to be. Like I'm taking like a really big approach to not focusing on bullshit and not feeding the bad wolf, if you will. I'm sure you've heard of that. What is that? Is that a parable? Is that a parable? Anyway, the two wolves. And it's like you have a good wolf and a bad wolf. And which one gets stronger? It's whichever one you feed, brother or sister. Okay, listen. We have a very diverse demographic with this podcast. Welcome, everyone. But that's something that like I really has been working well for me is doing the things daily of the person that I want to be. Like working out, making sure I'm getting my work done, checking everything off the box is huge for me. I hate ending the day being disappointed in myself. That's what I've realized is when I give in to distractions or just being undisciplined and I get caught down a bad rabbit hole, call them a tailspin, where you start momentum going down a bad path. And it's just like a tailspin happens. It's like, oh, you started your day on your phone. Now this is happening. Oh, you started this. So now you're behind this. So now you're chasing, to catch up, and you don't have that same motivation if you started with good momentum. So I've been really trying to do that. And I feel like that's been pretty recent, is being just objectively like, I'm going to fill up my day with good stuff and things I want to do. And I don't know. It's been crazy, it's crazy because it's like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. Like, I'm not like, it feels like this path has been so weird and so unconventional that it almost doesn't even feel real that it's working out for me. Like that's some real shit. Doesn't even make sense to me. Like it doesn't make sense that I have a house. It doesn't make sense that like I have a successful business or like comedy starting to go well. And that's probably some weird childhood shit of just not, like I guarantee it is. It's like, like when I go back to my childhood and I really say I was like a feral child, I really was. I grew up in a family where, I love my family very much. And I wouldn't trade anything because being kind of having an unconventional childhood made me who I am. And, it made me kind of think outside the box, where I even took an unconventional path that's working outside the system, if you will, is because of my childhood. But like I grew up a lot in isolation and not with like a lot of attention. So I would seek it other places. And when you kind of have that feeling of like you don't get a lot of attention, you kind of are an afterthought. I was the youngest. We didn't have a lot of money. And when you're in that position, when I would want to do things on my own and kind of like, oh, this, it was always, we didn't have money. We couldn't do this because we were doing this. And we kind of was always grouped in. And this is no woe is me shit, because everybody has problems and everybody goes through their own stuff. And I think that's the thing, is everybody has problems, and it tests your character, and everybody has their own trials. There's people who go through similar things, but it's like a unique thing for you. So I think I developed this mindset of like, I need to just survive. I don't thrive. I just survive. I don't expect these great things, and I just keep moving and keep working, and that's fine. And it wasn't until really like I had to kind of pull away from like an old life for years before I saw results. And I kind of had to just be like, nah, I'm going to fucking venture out, and I'm going to do my own thing, and I'm going to kind of break away from these boundaries, and these things. And that's the thing, is like putting up boundaries and be like, I'm not going back to this old mindset of like, I just survive. No, I want more, and I deserve more. And it didn't get into any like weird territory where I was doing like self-help in the mirror and being like, you matter, it didn't get that weird, but it just became a daily thing of like, it's been a huge thing. Thinking like, I have worked a lot on it, and that's like the thing you got to do. And I took on this thing, and it's so silly, and I'm almost embarrassed saying it right now, but like this idea of like, I'm taking care of little kid Evan. Like I'm doing things for him, where it's like, hey, and that's like, I also look at my knee-jerk reactions of like, when I get angry or I get frustrated, I realize that that's like these old versions of me reacting, and I almost have to be cool for them. And I'm just like, hey, it's fine. This is blah, 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 blah. And like, if you do that long enough, it just started working out. And I don't know, having birthdays, and like tomorrow's the anniversary of Thanksgiving, is when we closed on the house, and which is still insane to me. To have a house is insane to me. And I know that might seem silly to some people, but like, it just didn't seem feasible. Like I didn't think I'd be in this position. I thought I would just keep struggling and struggling and struggling. And it's obviously a struggle. That's the thing. When you move into a house, it's like a whole new set of struggles. And who knows, maybe I'll lose this all tomorrow. I'll be fine, whatever. But like, it's a cool milestone to be like, holy shit, this is where I'm at. And then now I set new goals. I'll tell you my goals, the next 3 to 5 years are big goals. And I'm going to build a warehouse and make it basically the craziest creation station. I'm going to be masturbating in there and all kinds of shit. Huh? What? Who said that? Anyway. But yeah. And just even moving to Texas, and just like, what happens in your life when you just fucking be like, fuck it, I'm out. I'm going to go take this shot, and I'm going to do this crazy thing. And it was scary. I remember, my fiance and I, we just like on a whim. It wasn't on a whim, like we planned it, but it was like, once it started happening, we sold everything we had and like put it in a truck, and we were like, let's fucking do it. And we moved over here, and we didn't know a single person. And I hated going like dude, there's nothing new, like worse than like, there's plenty of worse stuff, but like being the new person at an open mic where you're just trying to like get into a comedy scene, and you have to just start at the lowest level again. And like, you're going here and there and talking to club owners, and like, that was something that was like a gut punch, is when you just realize that like people want to just book, there was such a different system. It's not a merit system all the time. Like if you're funny, you'll eventually get through. And that's what's, happening, is I'm just working hard and trying. But like, there is a thing of like, you show up, and it's like, you don't get things just because you're funny. You have to, I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic, and it doesn't happen like, there's toxic ways that it happens. And then there's like, natural progression ways that it happens. And then I just stayed like, I went through, that weird fire, and then I felt better. I started booking stuff, and I'm now, becoming part of the Austin comedy scene, I'd like to think, and just meeting great people. And it's nice to like be in your tribe, you know, the people who have the same kind of goals and everything. So this is a very reflective episode, and I apologize if this isn't entertaining at all for you. But it's just what's on your boy's mind. There's a lot of like stopping and being like, where was I a year ago? What was I doing then? And it's like, I look at all of this, like where my life is at now. And I'll be honest with you, early 20s, like maybe, you know, when I look at like when I was 24, 25, I'd moved back from college. I graduated and I had to move back in with my parents, which is such a tight move in your early 20s, you know, because I wasn't going to be a nurse. I graduated nursing school and I was like, I'm not fucking doing this. I don't enjoy it. I didn't realize at the time, I love just making people laugh. Like looking back, I'm like, that was always my number one objection. Is that the right word? Objective. Objection. I don't know. Anyway. But I remember being in that position, feeling completely stuck and not knowing, like I kind of thought my life was over at like 24, 25. I remember being like, I'm trying to do music and I'm trying to do this, but it's like feeling like I'm working towards it, but it's not going anywhere. I remember coaching a small private school, their swim team and everything, the high school team. And I was focused on that and I loved helping them and everything. And I loved all those kids. And I just felt stuck. I felt like I was in a weird purgatorial state of my life at that time. And I kind of almost like, I get how it happens, how people get trapped and how they get stuck in this weird life that they didn't want. Like if I had stayed in that and I didn't keep trying, I don't know where the fuck my life would be. I don't know if I would be doing what I love. And dude, this shit still sucks every now and then. All right. It still sucks on a daily day, like a daily basis. Like I'm still working to like build up to the point where I'm really, making it. But it's just like, I feel like I'm on my way. I feel like there's momentum and I'm doing good. But it's just crazy. And I only bring that up. This isn't like a weird tooting horn thing. This is just like, it can be done if you feel stuck, if you feel like this isn't breaking through at all. I keep banging on the door. I keep trying and trying and trying, and it's just not getting through. Like it does happen, and it, at least in a way that you can have success. Like I think there really is a thing of just working hard and focusing, of just like, and it's like you got to work hard and smart. Like just being exhausted, and that was a mistake that I made, is just being exhausted doesn't equal results. Just because you're putting a lot of effort doesn't, in a physical sense, doesn't mean that's going to get anywhere. It's like you got to stop. You have to work smart. You have to do the things that you don't necessarily want to do. Because I also got into a weird place of like, I was just focused. Like I was just working hard and it was normal for me. Like I grew up doing construction. I was like, I can suffer. So if I wake up and I'm suffering every day, that means I'm working hard, right? This should be working. But I was like, no, I got to figure out and work on things that give you ROI, your return on investment, baby. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling on my birthday, ladies and gentlemen. Grateful, happy, a lot of gratitude for people who listen to the podcast. And yeah, things are good, ladies and gentlemen, for now. Dude, what if I come on after this episode and it's all depressed? I'm like, I fucking lost the house. I'm going underneath the freeway. I'm going to be there for a few weeks. I'll try to podcast, But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go enjoy some Chipotle. Thank you for another year. Life, we fucking made it. Listen, I feel like we're just playing on borrowed time. Anything can happen. So I'm just going to live my life like it's all gravy. All right. It's all gravy at this point. You got one life. You just got to live it. You got to enjoy it. All right. Anything can happen. Just know your boy had a dope ass tracksuit. Okay. I feel like by saying this now, I just fucked up my future. Like I just cursed myself. Or they're going to play this clip with like a sad piano music. Fuck, we fucked this up. Anyway, still grinding, kids. Remember, I love you guys very much. Thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. And remember, I still love you.